Don't fuck with me today, Doc.
Oh man, no, that's cool. It's a wonderful morning. It's Saturday. Uh, it's a great day. Well, I see you got that
Ooh.
look right there. Like you just
Oh,
sleep. That's all.
yeah. How's your parents had a
It
good
was
day
good.
yesterday? Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I went over there. My wife had that wonderful suggestion to make breakfast, so I took stuff over to their house and made breakfast and hung out there for a bit, and then I went and got I washed my truck the night before and it still wasn't clean. So I went to the car wash and had them wash it because I couldn't get all the hurricane grime off. And then we went back over there and I fished with my dad and drank beers and just chilled for the entirety of the day. And then when the wife got off, I went back over, went came and got her, and then we did a seafood boil.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, because I mean they like seafood, we all like seafood, but restaurant prices with
Oh, dude. Yeah,
like
it's
six
insane.
people, it hurts. So
Yeah. No, shit.
so I went back. They went to the store and got I think 3 pounds of crab, and then I went back and got another 4.5 pounds, 4.8 pounds, and then a couple pounds of shrimp and some 2 dozen oysters. And we just had a
Nice.
well, we had a good meal, really good setting. The house they picked is in that's okay, Cape Coral.
Hey, Coral. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's on one of the canals, which has a boat lift, which is too bad. It sucks. The weather's bad or really bad, choppy water. But the the back wall is like a sliding glass door,
Okay.
and then the whole lanai it just opens up into the lanai next to the pool, and
Nice.
that's where the table is. So that's where we sat and had dinner and just enjoyed the breeze and the nice fall air.
I was
So
gonna say that amazing fucking weather we had yesterday.
it was freaking awesome yesterday.
The amazing weather we had yesterday. I think yesterday was probably one of the best, but it did want to rain here.
It got cloudy, but it never rained.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Oh, no, listen, in a heartbeat. We organized a whole bunch of Halloween shit, and that's all we did as far as uh, with the weather was concerned. It was just amazing because we were pulling shit out of my little storage shed that I got back there. And it's not even a shed, dude. The actual trailer. I bought that thing for work, and Dolly used it to put all the fucking decorations. So I guess it beats from paying for storage.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can't get into it. And yesterday she was telling Nelson, there's a whole bunch of tools and stuff in there. You need to take a look at that stuff. And I'm like, I bought that for work. I bought that to avoid the the having the fiasco inside the garage.
Mm. And she's like, yeah, no,
Not anymore.
that's
Yeah.
funny.
She took all the attic shit out and put it in there. Oh, that's that's awesome, dude. I'm glad you had an amazing day. What are your plans for today?
So one of the guys at work, this is pretty much He's like the second in command is having a what is it called? He's smoking a brisket,
Nice.
and so him and his brother-in-law have this thing where they compete. So they're both smoking briskets, and I'm one of the judges, and so we're all going up there for that. We're gonna eat some good food. So it looks like 2 days it's gonna be sitting around food. But it's,
And drinking beer.
yeah, I don't know. That's like it's an hour away, so I probably won't drink very much. Up there, I'll probably have a couple beers. I don't even know if I'll have that. Oh, but it would be cool. And then I know my grandmother has been on me hardcore about frying her fish. So I don't know what it is about it, but like she was like, "Do you have any fish in your freezer?" I was like, "There's always fish in my freezer. Like that's par for the course." She's like, "I want one that's pan sized. It can't be too big."
Nice. And she wants one of the little snappers, huh?
So I pulled out like a 16-inch snapper,
Yep.
and so I was like, "All right, well, here's your panfish," and like we're out like cooking, getting all the stuff ready. I'm cooking outside, mind you, because that's where you do the boils out. And so we're bringing everything in and putting it on the table, and she's like, "Daniel, you need to cook me a fish." I was like, "We're sitting down for dinner right now. Um, you never told me that you wanted me to cook you the fish. You said that you were going to fry you a fish." She's like, "Yeah, you were going to do it." I was like, "Uh-huh." So I'm not going to do that because you didn't tell me to. You didn't ask me to, and we're sitting down for dinner now. So I'm going to sit down and eat. And she's like,
Oh,
"Fine, I'll do it myself." She's like, "But you have to take the scales off of it." Because I was like, I was asking her, I was like, "How are you gonna fry a fish with scales on it?" And she's like, "No, you have to take the scales off." I was like, again, I was like, "You were talking about doing these things. You're like, yeah, take the scales off and you know, um, cook it up, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "So you're talking about what you're gonna do, and you never asked me to do it. So I thought you were doing it." She's like, "No, you're gonna do it." Yeah. I know you do that to my mom a lot. She's your child. I'm not going to do that. So, if you want me to do that for you tomorrow, we can go ahead and set that up. But it looks like you're eating crab legs tonight. It's just, it's so, I, no, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little, and it's kind of like one of those things, you respect your elders and so much, but you just gotta sometimes, no. I love my grandmother, but nah. You're just like, I can't believe you did that.
I'm biting my tongue, dude. Listen,
That's fine.
in my in my little bubble, in my
Hmm.
world, grandmas are the matriarchs.
Mm,
They're the demand anything and everything. Doesn't matter. Anything and everything. The only person who can actually like argue with a grandma would probably be their their offspring,
hmm.
you know. But other than that, dude, if my my wife's mom needs something, I make sure that anything and everybody gets it. You know what I mean? Whoever she asks, if I know about it, it has to be done. Period. Done.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, that's cool. Well,
and
do you?
yeah, and my mom the same way. But even though my mom is more demanding than that, though, my mom's kind of a lot like your grandma.
They probably would if she would have told me
Yeah.
prior to me, like, I can cook and I can work things in and I can time things out, but you can't like, all right, so we're out here cooking, we're at the store, do this, do that, and then at the end of all of the other stuff being prepared, it's like, "Oh yeah, you need to do this now." Like, yeah, no, we're sitting down for dinner now. Like,
No, I no,
we
I
prepared a
agree.
family meal. Like, that's just like it's and I get
It
like
must
the
not that have
communication.
been. Was she there with y'all the whole time, helping cook or
Yeah,
anything like that?
no, she was sitting on the couch.
Oh,
So she came into the kitchen while what was I doing? I was filling the pot to boil,
the boil.
and she was standing in the kitchen, like looking at the fish. And that was like, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fry this up real good." Like she was literally talking about,
How she's gonna do it? Yeah.
and
Okay.
then she never said anything to me about doing it.
Yeah, I understand you completely.
Then it's like, "Yeah, that's cool. Like, I'll do it for you, but unfortunately, like that's not where we're at right now. You didn't ask me to do it, so I'm not going to like have everybody waiting on me to eat because you
Yeah.
decided that you weren't going to say anything." And that's just kind of where it's at.
No, no, no. I hear you.
Yeah. So I'll probably be frying a fish today. And at the end of the day, they didn't have the oil to fry it, so they had me bring them over fish and fish fry, and then they don't have a cast iron skillet over there, and then they don't have any type of frying oil. So either way, it wasn't going to happen. So we'll do that today. We're going back over there for breakfast.
When are they leaving?
Tuesday.
Are they going to the thing with
Yes.
your? Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah, because when he'd asked me prior to them booking their tickets to come down here
Yeah,
to judge it, and I was like, "Look, my parents are coming on that weekend." He's like, "Bring them." It's okay.
that's awesome. That's
No.
yeah, that wouldn't have been cool. You know.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't have went. So I would have like, somebody else gets to judge your amazing brisket. Damn it. I mean, that's would have been. I'm sure it wouldn't have been hard for him to find somebody else to fill that role.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not volunteering. I don't know the guy, but I don't know the guy, but I'm ready to head
I mean,
drive
so that's
over. Now, now today I have an airplane today,
mm,
and but it's late,
really.
and oh, it's gonna yeah, it doesn't come in till like 10 o'clock at night,
Mm.
so I
Yeah,
have
you're still
to.
gonna be working when I get up tomorrow morning.
Depends, maybe it depends. I don't think it's gonna take me that long. On one that we did yesterday. No, not yesterday. I got called in. I got called to see if I could take care of one. Yeah, last night. I'm like, no. I was beat, dude. You know, dealing with
Yeah.
that. I mean, I went to the doctor with my mom, and then the whole thing with Dolly. You know, I fucking hate the medical system here. It's pissing me off. Well, here or anywhere else, I don't go. I'm just saying, well, because they're scaring the hell out of my wife, and I don't like it. You know, give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, they're fucking. She she still has her white. Uh, what's it called? The white blood cells. They're too high, right? Well,
Body's
what?
fighting.
Yeah, so the body's fighting something, right? So I'm like, yeah, we know about that because we found out about the blood cells actually after she fell
Uh,
and she cracked 2 ribs. I'm like, it makes sense, right? So I told her, I was like, so she was like, okay, no problem. Then afterwards, it just, I guess timing was an issue that she ended up doing her own, you know, all the woman stuff, the woman appointments, the breast,
the OBGYN
yeah,
and
they oh yeah, all that stuff. But yeah, where they do all that woman stuff. Anyway, um, so then they called her and said, hey, We need you to come back in for a second, blah, blah, blah. They spent a lot of time on her left breast. And, well, a couple of years back, she found a lump. And then they went in there and it was benign. It was no big deal. Um, but you know what I mean? They had to go make sure. So she has a scar, when they went in and they removed whatever the fuck they needed to remove. So of course she has scar tissue inside the boob, underneath the
Mm-hmm.
back. So I told her, I was like, dude, the fucking doctor's like, oh my God, we found something strange inside your left boob. I'm like, and she's like, well, it does hurt in that area. I'm like, you don't understand. You cracked two fucking ribs. You cracked two of your upper ribs. You know what I mean? They weren't these are really fucking hard to inside here is where she cracked. It's her left boob. It's of course, you're gonna see shit back there. It, you know, I'm like, don't tell her it's fucking, don't. She's like, oh my God, I have cancer. I'm gonna die. Oh, no, 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 no.
Scary feeling.
Yeah. You know what I mean? She's already looking at everything, and I'm like, stop. You're, I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, then don't pay attention. Just understand that you have your two of your upper ribs you cracked. It's underneath your, yeah, dude. It's just that's all it is. You know,
Yeah,
all
because
it
I have one.
is.
I wonder if I should. I ever tell you the story of the lump that I had?
Mm-mm. No.
So when I did 75 hard, like the first, I want to say it's the first full time I did it, I cut a lot of body fat, like the body fat that I didn't even know I had. But I shredded down. And going into phase one, taking the progress pics one day after my workout, I was like, "Yeah, look at the abs!" And there was a spot that was like looked like it was bruised. So it was like a yellowish bruise, and you could see it. It was a lump. It was like the size of a tangerine.
Oh,
Yeah. Never would have saw it if I didn't cut the fat. And it ultimately was a lipoma, but it was during the height of COVID. I couldn't get to the doctor,
mm,
and we had my chart is a app that Lee County uses, Lee Health uses for communication with the medical system. And I kept on like trying to get my doctor on the phone, get the doctor on the phone. I couldn't get her, and so I was like, I called again, and I messaged them, and I sent them a picture, and I was like, hey, I was like, I just emailed Doctor Segura a picture. I need you guys to look at it and tell me if this is an issue because I can't get her on the phone. And he's like, can you be here in an hour? Yeah, scariest feeling in the world. I was on the table getting that removed within like it was I think it was like 3 or 4 days.
damn, dude.
Yeah, yeah, no, that scared the shit out of me. I know that feeling. It's a horrible freaking feeling. And then I was out of work for like they're like, oh yeah, you'll be right back to work. I think I was out of work for like 2 weeks or something like that, 2 or 3 weeks, because they wouldn't let me lift anything because they were worried about me popping the stitches.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's like layers. It was I think it was 3 or 4 layers that they stitched inside because it was so big. It was, and it was like they said it was tar black, but it
Damn,
was
dude.
benign. Yeah, just a fatty tumor. So
Well,
there's no, at least they're erring on the side of caution, and they might be scaring your wife, but you know, having scar tissue there might be something that's concerning, and they want to look at it. I'd rather somebody be a little more cautious and scare the shit out of me and find nothing than be like, oh yeah, it's nothing. I had a childhood friend that he used to always complain about his ankle hurting. And when we were, I mean, this is, I think he was complaining about it since seventh grade. We were on the basketball team. And he used to always talk about how his ankle was always hurting. And by the time we were in our early 20s, he had cancer that had metastasized into the bone in his ankle. And there had been a tumor in there the whole time that had been growing and going through. And yeah, it's just the craziest shit. It's like, there's things that happen in the body that we just kind of don't understand. But something like that, there's nothing wrong with looking at it. Um, if they're looking at it
No,
as
no, 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 no. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Of course, you know.
it's just a conversation.
Yeah, it's not a comfortable conversation. It's not. You know, I mean, we're not. I'm not scared of her leaving me or anything like that. It's just the fact of that she still has so much life left. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just no, no,
Yeah, it's like not even
no,
we're not accepting that. There's
no,
no way that's gonna work.
no, no. Yeah, no, no. You know,
Uh,
and here's the thing. I mean, and this would be the second time that somebody goes in there. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So I told her, I was like, listen, what are they doing? It's like, no, they're just going to do a sonogram first. I'm like, there you go. Okay, so you do a sonogram and go around it. But here's the thing that I don't get, dude. And here's what the part that I told her. I was like, you had an MRI and a CAT scan done when you cracked your rib, X-ray and a CAT scan
Mm.
when you cracked your
So,
ribs.
so they should have records.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's
they
annoying.
were already seen inside. It's like what they don't. It's impossible as a mechanic. For example, I had if I'm looking in this direction, I'm looking at this direction. You see what I'm saying? If I'm looking here, I'm really looking at this. This is my peripheral, my 45 degrees right here. Here's my 90-degree outcome. This is what I'm looking at. This is everything that I'm responsible for.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So if
Not
you're in
just
if
this
you're in
little dot that's
if
right
you're in my body, yeah, I'm not
here.
if you're taking a picture of my body, right? But that picture grabs this whole area, then you're looking at my shoulder too. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's like, oh, but see, I hate people like that. And the reason I'm saying it is because I've heard it so many times. Oh,
Mhm.
I was told only to look at this right down there. No, asshole. Your job is to look at this. So
I get that totally.
they limit themselves, and then either A or come back for another visit and pay another fee. I don't know. So
That's
that's
what
what,
that pisses me off. Like
right?
that's
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
Well, I
that's
was
a
like, that's how the medical system works. I was like, what?
like,
I
hey
went in
doc,
here
what
for
about this? Oh no, we have to send. That's another referral. Fuck.
yeah,
What?
four
You know,
copays later. Yeah, that's
I just don't get it, dude. I
oh
really
man, I
don't.
need to try and get into the doctor if I think about it. It's been a minute. It's been
Uh,
it's been a couple of years, I think. Something
what,
like
since you went?
well, yeah, because when Alicia left the hospital system, I didn't have any insurance. And I know I had the urology appointment, and I think they
Mm.
wanted like 450 for the visit. And I was like, I'm not paying you guys 450. But then, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we pay for health insurance.
Here's the thing, dude. It's all a fucking facade. I mean, you stole it. You know what I mean? It's all a fucking game. It's all retarded. And here's what I've realized. So here we are, you haven't been to the doctor in a minute. Just imagine if you were paying fucking $200-300 a month for health insurance.
Oh, I am now.
You know what I mean? No, but I'm saying this, but you haven't been to the doctor in, let's say, 2 years.
No.
You know, right? So that's fucking 24 months of you paying $200-300 a month, right? So that's a whole bunch of fucking money. You see what I'm saying? That's a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a whole bunch of money that these motherfuckers over there, whatever it is that your yearly premiums and so forth. And but what happens if you don't use it, right? So it's not a big thing, dude. I mean, there's nothing in the medical systems besides a major catastrophe like your lump, something that you can just can't find, and all of a sudden, oh my God, then what if it was cancerous or whatever, Oh, that's like one of those oh my God, oh my fucking God moments. But just
Yeah.
normal everyday shit. Oh, like I need an MRI. It's no big deal, dude. They'll charge fucking insurance companies $2,000-3,000 for an MRI imaging when you can go in there and self pay for $300.
Yeah. And
You
that's
see that?
that's like legit the biggest crock of shit ever.
It is. That's my whole point behind everything. And all that fucking labs, when you go in there, and I don't mind paying $100 to get my lab work done. I don't mind paying $200 to get my lab work done. I really don't. Oh, but it's free with your insurance. No, my insurance costs me a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. I just did the math to see how much I actually do pay a month. It's $512 a month is what we pay for the health insurance. And it's super high deductible. So even with that, I'm still paying a lot of money out of pocket, even when I do go to the doctor. So the only thing it is good for is like when I separate my shoulder and have a level 1 AC sprain. And like that's what played out last time. And luckily I still had coverage at that point. But if I didn't, it would have cost me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And like I despise health insurance because it doesn't cover shit unless
Mhm,
it's like something catastrophic. But like
mhm.
even with that the copay for that fucking surgery to get that lump removed was still like 3 grand. And he was like, well, he's like, the actual cost your out of pocket should be, I think it was like $5,000. He's like, but you have a $3,000 minimum. So, or you have a 3,500 out of pocket maximum. So I can't charge you more than this. No, I was like, he's like, your insurance company's paying 30 grand for this procedure. I was like, I don't care. Like, you guys are overcharging to begin with, and I still had to pay for the anesthesiologist because they said it was out of network. So I was like, so I went to your facility and used your anesthesiologist that you guys brought there. He's like, well, you signed the paper. I was like, you guys said to sign it. You didn't tell me. Like, oh, well, like here's the anesthesiologist paper. So you're consenting to pay the bill because like he just showed up here. Like, no, you brought him in here.
You're the one who
Yeah,
brought them in here.
like I didn't call him. Yeah, and I was it was oh, you see the emotion coming back just from thinking about uh, um and I wouldn't, and I was like I wouldn't have picked somebody to come in here that I knew that I was gonna have to pay out of pocket.
Oh,
Like
hell yeah.
it's so crazy. But they sure didn't cover it. So that still was a good chunk of money. And that's like, Andrew Tate's like, find out how the money was taken from you because it's always taken from you. You very willingly give it away for something you want. And like that's the medical.
They're making it. Obama did a great job of making healthcare not really affordable.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
I
was
re-
so happy about when he did that too. I was like, oh
I
man.
was I was looking forward to him. I promise you. Listen, I wasn't a here or there, but I didn't like him in the beginning, and then when he started doing this whole Obamacare thing, and I'm like, all right, let's take a look at this thing. I mean, this is one of the most important factors. And dude, when I realized what happened afterwards, because I remember we were paying as a family like like 300-400 bucks a month, dude.
Mm,
You know, it wasn't much back then. Afterwards, the same coverages, dude, it was insane. It was like 1,200, 800. And I was like, what the fuck? It tripled the price of fucking health insurance, dude. And all for what? To make it mandatable and that you have to, so it makes people kind of exaggerate on their taxes. You know what I mean? So if you think about it, dude, all these fucking people that show no income, because I know a certain guy that shows no income. You know what I mean? I do have decent. I do okay, but I can show no money coming in and get and be in the get that discounts and so forth, and you know what I mean, and not have to
yeah,
pay out of pocket for, and get whatever. What do you call those things? Governmental benefits, discounts. I don't know. I forgot what the fuck it was named, the name of it, and I used to sell it.
that's funny.
But dude, it's horrible. It really is, dude. Like when you're an employee, there's really no way around it. If you're offered it, you can't get it from outside unless it's like that much more like different, like the cost based. You see what
Mm.
I'm saying?
You used to be able to get a secondary, but you had to use your employers as the primary. I think is what it was. Because I had two for a while. I think. Yeah, I had two for a while, and
Yeah.
yeah, because I remember the one insurance was like, "This one needs to be your primary. We're not paying." It was so stupid. But yeah, um, yeah, I don't understand how they get
I
to
don't,
pick and
yeah, I
choose.
don't, I don't know how that, yeah, that's,
It's
I
it's
just know it's wrong. It's wrong in so many levels. It's wrong in so many levels. I'm all about American greed, dude. I really am. I understand it. I do. I know, I'm all about,
capitalism.
capitalism. Yeah, I'm all about it. But healthcare, dude, is not one of those things. I am all about, you know, building hospitals and doing this and doing that. Um, Doctors need to make a shitload of money. They have to, you know. Listen, we get paid by the problems that we resolve, right? So the bigger the problem we resolve, the higher the paycheck. I've
No.
I've been a believer in that since, gosh, I can't remember. So if that's the case, then yeah, dude, they take care of us. I don't mind, but it's got to be. How can I say this? Have you seen how they do it in England?
No.
I was reading a little bit about their health system, and their health system actually, the doctors get both. Everybody's paid by the government, the state, right? But you have to show how many people you actually help.
Hmm.
Like, oh, last this month we had 300 brand new patients. We and we were able to cure them and help them and blah 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 blah. So the more people you actually help, the
The
less
result.
the more money the government pays you per patient. It's actually pretty cool, you know. Not in the aspects of keeping uh a patient as a client, because unfortunately that's what our regular medical doctors do, you know. Hey, I need to see you back in 3 months. For what, dude? Why do you need to see me back in 3 months, dude? We want to make sure your blood works good. Marika, you just fucking took it. All right. So in other words, in my mind, if my diet doesn't change and I don't do a goddamn thing, I'm good for a year. I'll see you later. You know what I mean? I fucking hate it when they do that. Break up my year. Leave me alone.
That's funny.
But
Yeah,
that's
no.
all. That's all it is. I mean, dentist, right? So fucking dentist, dude. They rely on you having a potty mouth. So fucking. That's why I was talking to my mom yesterday. I said, have you ever wondered? I'm still trying to find a toothpaste alternate. I don't want to continue using this toothpaste because all the fluoride and all that shit.
Fluoride stuff in it.
Yeah. So I didn't understand that. I really didn't. Growing up, I didn't understand it. Like, why is the dentist asking me if it's okay to use fluoride? You know what I mean? I didn't understand that. And then you sign, yes, I authorize the use of fluoride. That shit's fucking poison.
I had no clue.
That shit's poison. And I had no clue.
And they charge you extra for
Yeah.
it.
Oh, but it whitens your teeth. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. Why the shit? I'd rather have brown fucking teeth and a great fucking health than you guys trying to poison my ass and look like a fucking tic tac. No.
That's I didn't realize how bad the dentist was fucking me over until I started dating Alicia. And then when we got married, um, she ultimately got me just to stop going to that dentist. So I had deep cleans because I hadn't been to the dentist since I was like a child. And I went back the first time back to the dentist since childhood. So yeah, when I had my wisdom teeth out when I was a junior in high school, was probably the last time I went to the
That's
dentist.
We need to come back on wisdom teeth. Go ahead.
And then all right, um, and then in 2013 is when I finally went back to 2014. So from 1999 to 2014, I hadn't been to the dentist. So they did a deep clean. They were putting um, anti-inflammatory and antibiotics into my gums to kill the bacteria because apparently I didn't floss enough, whatever. So because of that process, that cost me a couple $1,000s to have them clean my teeth, deep clean. From that point forward, my insurance wouldn't cover any of my dental work because it changed the language of it from a cleaning to periodontal maintenance. So from that point forward, they didn't cover the deep clean, mind you. I had to pay for all that out of pocket. Then, because of that procedure, they wouldn't cover any of my cleanings, and so I had to pay out of pocket for my cleanings, even though I was supposed to get a free one every 6 months. And I was like, "What? Why do I keep on having to pay?" And she's like, "Oh, it's periodontal maintenance." I was like, "It's a cleaning." I was like, "You guys literally do the same thing." She's like, "No, but you had a deep clean, so it's no longer called a cleaning; it's called a periodontal maintenance." And so it was twice the price, and I had to pay it out of pocket. So I was paying like $80, $80+ every time I went to the dentist. And so my wife was like, "This is fucking bullshit." Um, so she's like, "You're supposed like your insurance covers this." I know it does because I have the same insurance. And so we ended up. I went to her dentist, and amazingly enough, it was a cleaning again. So, but that is was it Family Dental of Fort Myers? Yeah, I'm real bad about it. I'm not. There's no hiding in the showers. They're on Daniels Parkway, just west of the interstate. If you guys know who they are, I would suggest you uh,
Run.
look at your bill and tell them to fuck off. Nice people,
Yeah.
but their business practices are trash. Um, period. So, but what are you talking about the wisdom teeth though?
So I didn't understand, and I still don't. I'm still trying to fucking. Um. Every time it comes up, I always say the same thing. I need to find out a little bit more about it. But I've heard a lot of things on. You had your wisdom teeth removed. I had my wisdom teeth removed. I I had my wisdom teeth removed not because they were bothering me, because the fucking Air Force has. when you sign away, you really much sign away your rights for everything. They own you.
Yeah, your property. That's
You
any
are
rent.
you are property. Yeah, you are property. Yep, property of the U.S. fucking government. You know, so they did with my mouth whatever the fuck they wanted. Some good and some bad. Well, I had my wisdom teeth removed, and I didn't. They didn't have to be removed. So, um, something that is really true though. There's some really delicate nerves that go around the mandible,
Mandible. Yeah.
right? My father was teaching me a lot of these things because remember in his studies he learned
You
that
learned a
he learned a lot.
lot.
He learned a lot, of areas to be careful and so forth. And the mandible is such a very thin piece of bone that you can crack it if you don't if doing extractions or doing root canals and you can do a bunch of whatever. You can actually crack the mandible real easily. So it's extreme, that so like every tooth has a major function
Mm,
also of holding the integrity of the mandible. You see what I'm saying? So it's not
okay.
like it just like closes back up and so forth. It's like, if you have anything removed, it and there's proof in a lot of uh if you've had dental root canals and stuff like that, there is evidence of how certain root canals are performed. They're linking it to either some type of cancer on that side of the body.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
that's
They'll
crazy.
like they've been able to say that, hey, example, lump on breast, left breast, whatever. Okay, cool. Hey, has she ever had a root canal or any dental
Uh,
things? And they'll link it back to it because the way the nerves all interconnect is such a there's only one major nerve that goes through here that controls everything. You know what I mean? So with the other ones, they go ahead and each tooth, of course, are fed through that main nerve. But when you alter that one, it will affect something else somewhere. So I didn't know about that stuff until my dad started telling me. He's like, "Well, how the mandible is so delicate." You also have to be careful up top. Why? Because your sinus canal, your sinus cavities, is right. They are right there. So if you have something, and before they used to put mercury in our teeth and then silver, you know what I mean, with silver cappings and so forth. And so we're like the dental health part is so primitive, so fucking primitive. Now we're removing teeth and putting implants, and oh, we're so good at this, and and all this fake shit, but we really don't know what it's physically doing to our bodies. You know,
I
it's
had
so
another good one. Damn, fuck the dentist. This is awesome. So I had to get a crown, and I don't even remember which tooth it is, but I remember they had put the temporary crown on after they had like measured everything and got it to where they needed it. And so I went back to have the permanent one put on, and the lady was like yanking on my tooth to get the temporary off, and I was like, it feels like you're pulling out my tooth. And she's like, why do people always say that? And I was like, because probably that's what it feels like if they always say that. So ultimately, what she ended up doing was killing the nerve because she was
oh,
yanking on it so hard, and she created so much trauma that the nerve died. And what happens when a nerve dies inside your gum?
it turns
Everything
black. Mm.
everything swells. And so I'm on the road. This is when I was still over the road. And I called them and I was like, I'm in a lot of pain. Um, you know, I need to know what to do. She's like, you need to come back in. I was like, I'm in Ohio. She's like, oh. I was like, I'll be back in like, I don't know, 36 hours. I get in there. She looks at it with like the head doctor, and she's like, all right, so I need to go see the surgeon. And they ended up doing a root canal. And but she covered it. So that Family Dental of Fort Myers did me right. Like I said, they're great people. Business practices just suck. But and that lady doesn't work there anymore either. That was
No,
kicked
because
off.
uh, those family centers, those little centers, those little those aren't mom and pop shops. Those are owned by huge
No, that's a
corporations.
corporation.
It's a
Yeah.
huge corporations with like hundreds of locations.
Yeah, no, they
So
save money. It's
yeah,
not mom and pop.
every head doctor is an employee, and they're just put there as a lead. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's all it is. So, and
So it
unfortunately,
explains the great people, but piss poor freaking policies and practices.
because correct. You know what I mean? They're either A, just beginning their careers, and they need to start, or
Mhm.
B, they're retiring and they want to downsize their
Or just gonna
practices.
chill.
They
Yeah.
like they sold their practice to this biz to this. You know what I mean?
Conglomerate.
Correct. So now they're on their way out. So it's like you don't know what you're getting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We because we were in my family was in the dental aspect. My older brother has the dental lab, so he makes the all
All
the
right.
you know what I
Yeah, he
mean.
makes
My
the
dad,
implants.
yeah, all the crowns, the bridges, the partials, the dentures, and all the temporaries, all the final products, whatever. So I have a dental lab within the family. My brother does that. My dad did that for so many years. And my brother started doing it like that because I remember when he first got married, he used to work at Sears in Boca Raton when it was still here, and he used to getting paid $250 a week. That was his, and he used to work. I think it was over as a salesman, like at the sporting goods section or something like that, right? And he got paid $250 a week. And then my dad told him one time, he goes, "Hey, how come? Why don't you work with me?" And my dad had the lab, and then he went over there and let me show you something. So he showed him how to fix a denture, and he, he showed him how to fix a denture that had been broken in two. He fixed it. You got it? Yeah. All right, here. I have another one. Here you go. And he gave him another denture. And he goes, "All right, do me a favor. Go ahead and fix that one too." So he fixed it. He looked like it was great. All right. So you have two dentures fixed today, right? Yes. All right, cool. Is there anything else that you can do today? No, I don't have anything else to do. Okay, cool. He gave him $300. You know, here you go. He goes, "What is that?" He goes, "You just fixed two dentures in whatever amount of time, and it's $300 of your money for that." Yeah, let's just say he quit fucking
Yeah,
Sears.
he was gone.
He quit Sears and he dedicated his time to learning the trade of that trade. So now and he does extremely well, and he's maintained that consistency. You know, um, even back in 2009, 2000, that depression. Even back then, he was still clearing. Even though it's not enough, but he was still clearing 15 grand a month, you know, uh, because his business usually makes anywhere between 50 to 60 grand a month, you know,
Mm.
and that's just him by himself. That's just if yeah, I've told him, I was like, "Hey, you can have if you had employees, you'd be fucking amazing." But he can't handle employees. He's not a very good. Um, yeah, he talks bad to people. He can't have
Yeah.
anybody work for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a definitely a skill. But
Oh yeah. having somebody that actually wants to work for you,
Yeah.
not that needs the money, because anybody you can hire anybody that needs the money. But if you want somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're doing, you know, it's different. It's
Yeah,
different.
definitely. Yeah,
Oh
it's
man.
550 though. We're at the little end of this 551. Um,
Yeah.
gotta drop that. Oh,
I think I'm gonna put, can we get can we alter the thumbnail on that last one?
I was working on it. I couldn't get it to look good. I can do it.
No.
No, I was trying for my phone while I was in the truck. So I'm gonna
Uh,
try again one more time and see if I can. That I might just take us off of it and just do the toad and some psychedelic colors. But when you stretch it, it just and the resolution.
there's different. Just Google 5-MeO toad, and there's a lot of pictures. 5-MeO toad. Did you hear? Um, I forgot the guy's name, dude. Aubrey, the owner of On It.
I started listening to that. That was a really long podcast.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I didn't finish it.
Started minute number 6 for some. Yeah, that's also an idea too. Because those two are two big entrepreneurs,
Well,
and I started following. Dude, I didn't know who Aubrey was. I've kind of seen him there, here and there. I didn't know who he was. I've seen his picture around, and let me see. What are we starting? Uh, there she is, right in the middle. That's her.
this
That's
one or this
her.
one? This one right here.
No, no, no. The purple one. I really like the fucking red and yellow one. Look at that one right there, the big guy. But the psychedelic one right there on the left also.
So the one on the left, I like this one. I'll play with all of them. Let's see here. I might be able to stretch that one actually.
Depends on the resolution.
I think I can because this is the same resolution as the other one was. Um,
Mm. So anyway, back to Aubrey. I actually saw his. He had uh, a documentary that he did of himself. He went into the darkness. Have you ever heard of it?
no,
So your body transmits and produces DMT naturally through your pineal gland, right?
no, I did not know that.
Okay, well, it does. Your body naturally produces. So when you activate your pineal gland, what you're doing is, DMT is being secreted and it does whatever it needs to do, inside your noggin, your mind. It opens up your mind. That's why they call it your third eye, opening up your third eye. Okay. So you expand you can see. So this guy, Aubrey, there's a thing that go into a pitched black room for 7 days when you have nothing there, and you have nothing, can't see nothing. You can feel it, but you can't see it, and you have to hear it. And all you can, it's like if you're stuck in your thoughts, dude. You're stuck inside
Mhm.
your mind. You know what I mean? It's like if you're stuck inside your mind and you do that shit for fucking 7 days, dude. Where you wake up and you see the same thing, and you go to sleep and you see the same thing, and it's just like, oh. So, dude, it is insane. After about the day number 4, the visions that he starts hallucinating, and he sees things, and he starts talking to himself, and and he's having these conversations, and I'm like, I know those conversations because it's insane. It's crazy because he starts having conversations with himself as a third person,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I do that. So he starts going off, and it's just insane how he's going back and forth, and he starts crying. And I was like, at the end, I was like, who the fuck is this crazy dude? This is badass. Like, I love him. And then I realized this guy has traveled the world in search for a better him, has done upteen, psychedelic sessions with whatever it is, ayahuasca, 5-MeO, or, or, you know, um, and he started something that that I look forward to. I think I've talked to you about it. Like, he started a group. It's like a mastermind of like-minded entrepreneurs that are very spiritual. You know what I mean? They can talk to each other. It opens up a safe place to release traumas and kind of the shit that you and I are doing to ourselves, to each other. You know
Right.
what I mean? So he opened it up to other opportunities, and I was like, wow, that's actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's actually really, really cool.
So yeah, I saw his video on Gaia, and I was like, man, I like this guy.
Is
You
that how you
know?
found him?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's where I started searching for him. Was because I saw him in Gaia, but I've seen his images somewhere else. Right? That's what made me start Googling it, see who he was.
So let's check out this first frog node, and we're gonna get rid of that guy too. And then we're going to upload. You never see me actually dick around with these, do you?
Mm-mm.
But that's the one you liked right there, so we're check him out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what I talk about with the resolution.
Yeah, they don't
Uh,
look too bad.
let's see here. Let's get that guy real fast.
You can probably almost crop my fat ass out and like put me floating in there somewhere.
Oh, you'll end up on there.
That's so cool.
Properties. So this is what I had been messing with before.
Mm.
So that's crazy. Mm, go back.
Put it on my shirt.
I have to do. I have a one with a white T-shirt of you somewhere.
You gotta bring it forward. It looks like it's backwards, right?
Is that that's not a reverse one. It's just
Not
really
backwards. I meant that the image is behind me. It's not right.
negatory.
Oh, I
No,
can't. Then.
it's see-through.
Oh,
That's all it is.
I'm just blind then. Okay.
Yeah, it's just see-through. It's definitely crisper than other stuff, but let's see here. Either we can just pull ourselves off of it and just leave with Toad.
Yeah, maybe. We got to put our logo back in there somehow. That one's pretty cool because it shows you the division between, the fight between good and evil, how it's
Right.
inside you, well, how it's inside of you doesn't
Right.
really exist on the outside. I learned that one also. I told you about that story now.
No.
Dude, so this was towards the beginning of me learning more about Toad, and I was already learning more about self-administration. And so I used to do it inside my house inside of my bedroom. When I say I used to, I'll explain that one later. I don't do that inside the house anymore. It has to be outside. Um, Not because I almost burned the house down or anything like that. I'm just saying it's just there's certain energies that you don't want to. Your bedroom is so holy, it's so sacred. You don't want things creeping up on you.
Don't let
So,
those demons in.
so what it really means is basically so what I ended up happening when I went down there and Dolly has a lot of animosity against me, from and at that time we were right in the middle of a major fight, and I did a toad session, a small one, and like I said in the beginning, and as I was coming to, I remember looking at my wife, and I saw that it wasn't her. I knew, ooh, I like that. That's purdy. So anyway, I saw her and it wasn't her. And I went and I started saying, "Where's my wife? Where's my wife?" And then as soon as I said that, I was like, "You're not my wife. Where's my wife?" Her face just changed and it shifted. And then I said, "Oh, there you are.
Mm.
Wow, I almost lost you." And I said that to her as I was coming back. What ended up happening was afterwards, I said to her, I was like, she goes, "Why did you say that to me?" And I was like, "Because your face, it wasn't you. You were looking
Mm.
at me." And it was like you morphed. It's like you hated me. Like if whatever you saw was fake and you fucking just, and she goes, "Oh my God." I'm like, "What?" And she, like, her jaw dropped and she's like, she goes, "I was thinking how big of of like a fake you were, like you're faking this." Or, and I was like, "Really?" Yeah. So I read her mind, I read her thoughts, you know what I mean? Like, I saw,
That's crazy.
and that's when she, like, "Oh my God." And at that moment in time, right there, my vision, my teachings were that um that the whole fight between good and evil, like the whole thing about the devil and God and the angels and all that stuff, is inside of us 100%. It's like the war is happening into us, inside of us, not really to us on the outside. You know what I mean? It's not like we're gonna experience it on the physical world and we're gonna see fucking demons and come on. No, dude, it's our consciousness. If they can control our consciousness, they can control everything. We have to be able to learn and expand our consciousness. And that's why they call it the Christ consciousness. You know, that's why
Mm-hmm.
they call it, to be Christ like, right? You know, that's good. I don't want to enter into a religious conversation, but that's pretty much where it
Right.
comes, what it means and what it comes down to. So, as like in this physical world here, in the world that we live in, especially here in the good old US of A, they try to control our souls. They try to control our consciousness. They tell us, they're programming us and so forth. And this is definitely this matrix is one of those. What else can I tell you? That's about it on that one. That one, yeah, that story there was, that was a fun moment. That was a fun moment. That was a little scary. You know, I've also had other sessions where, like, Dolly and I'll have full conversations, full, I'm talking to you, full conversations telepathically. And and then it's, I don't know how to say it, dude. If I didn't record my sessions, and I always do, I record 99% of my sessions. So those, if I hadn't recorded it, nobody would believe it, but it's true.
Right.
Because we're looking at each other and we're blah blah blah, and then, like, at the end we're talking about it, and I said this, and like we were like, shit, dude, we really were talking to each other. It was just insane. It really is. It opens up so many other avenues. It opens up so many planes.
So, wow. No kidding. Let's upload. So I changed this up because that way it's not trying to fight with the white.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that black looks clean. Put on
Yeah,
a
it
white
does.
t-shirt. Put on a white t-shirt.
Yeah, it does. Make sure it's not reversed.
I mean, I could flip it if you want to talk some shit. Oh, real fucking simple.
I just gotta push a button, motherfucker. I control it. I got
uh,
the power.
yeah, that's funny. I kind of dig this one. That's
I like
story.
that.
Uh, Find it.
And the title's got that's 5 meal saved my life. I don't know. Whatever.
You
Research
like that
what
title?
5 meal saved my life. It pretty.
Yeah.
I know it did. I know it did. I know it did. But here's the other thing. Also,
Right.
like you have to be prepared for it. You like I know there's been people who have come and they've wanted me to help them administer it, and I'll administer to them, and they're not ready. They're
No.
not they're not ready because they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're doing it to see how it feels. They're not doing it
Mm,
to exactly. They're not doing it, and I don't know these things because they answer all the correct questions. You know what I mean? Like
no.
this is not a recreational drug whatsoever. This is not one of those things. You know, this will expand your mind and tell you and show you everything that you need to know about yourself. And then it'll hide it back from you and say, okay, I showed you. Now go find it. That's
Oh
exactly
wow.
that's exactly
Uh,
what it does. So as you progress in this life and as life happens, you know, with you, then you have to make proper decisions based on things that you've already seen. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be in that aspect. But if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, it'll take longer for you to accept it and acknowledge it. I know of certain individuals who thought that these changes were immediate, but
mm,
you know what I mean? And it took them, you have to integrate after this. There's a huge integration process that I didn't know about in the beginning, and it took me a long time to really understand it and find out about it. There's people who probably integrate for over a year or 2 years. There's people who integrate only for 6 months, 3 months.
no
You know,
kidding.
they just process it quicker. You know, they process it quicker and they just move on with their lives, right? Well, just like there's people that takes longer when you've been acting a certain way and then all of a sudden you're shown a different way, your body's going to fight you. Your body's going to fight you. They're like, nope, I've been doing this for 47 years and I'm fuck you. I'm not doing it that way. And then all of a sudden you're shown another way and then you start performing in that other sense. And your body's like, no, come back. Come back. I need you. I miss you. So yeah, dude. When you that looks killer. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that one's pretty legit. That yeah,
No,
I can't with that one.
no, that
That
looks
one's
nice.
it's so crisp.
Yeah,
So
that looks nice.
I might put the black logo or I might leave it white. I don't know. This one's cool, but it's not
Ah,
clean enough.
that's not bad.
Yeah, it's
But
just not clean.
no,
I
no, yeah,
think that's the
that's
killer.
it. That's the one right there, dude.
All right.
And I think black logo would be fine too, though.
Let's check it out. Nothing crazy. Copy. Yeah, that just gives it more of a or contrast. Hmm, either one looks fine, honestly. Um, yeah, I think that's a winner. All right. I will get this into the cloud. So we can get it uploaded. And we said 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll be back for when today. When?
Yeah, it's today,
All right,
10 a.m.
let's do it.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right, big dog. You take it easy, man.
You as well, sir.
All right, bye.
Truth cuts deep, no sugarcoat signing. Every scar earned, every win redefined. Unfiltered talk, real ones on the line. From the trenches to the boardroom, we built from the grind. Sweat, equity, daily success redefined. No fluff, no luck, just pressure and pain. Earned daily with honor, discipline's the name. We don't chase dreams, we build them brick by brick. Every loss taught lessons, made the mindset stick. You want motivation, you're listening wrong. This is legacy talk, welcome to the strong. Mindset shift, no shortcuts.